Now let us summarize the whole process of excitation contraction coupling again. Calcium enters the cells during depolarization, especially during this phase 2, the play 2 phase, and it triggers the release of calcium from the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Then the calcium binds to troponin C, inducing a conformational change in the troponin complex, which leads to this myosin heads binding to the actin, which leading to the cross bridge movement. This requires ATP hydrolysis and reduction in the sarcomere length. Okay, and then the calcium is resequestered by the sarcoplasmic reticulum, by the sarcoplasm, and the calcium is removed from the troponin C, and myosin detaches from the actin or unbinds from the actin. This also requires ATP, and this allows the sarcomere to resume its original relaxed length. Okay, so this is how an action potential is converted into a mechanical process, that is contraction followed by a relaxation. Now again I am showing this diagram just to emphasize the fact that the cardiac muscles can never be tetanized, and the cardiac muscles, they never fatigue. In contrast, the skeletal muscles can be tetanized, and the skeletal muscles do fatigue when they are tetanized. Okay, but since the cardiac muscles cannot be tetanized, so they can never fatigue. You know, the heart goes on, you know, it beats regularly throughout the life of a person, and it never fatigues. Okay, so what is the mechanism behind that? As I have already told you, that this is possible because of the long refractive period of the cardiac muscles. If you compare the refractive periods over here in the cardiac muscles, okay, with the refractive period over here, the duration of action potential of the skeletal muscle fibers is just 5 to 10 millisecond, while duration of the action potential in the cardiac muscle fibers is up to 250 or 300 millisecond. So this is quite a long refractive period. Okay, and this long refractive period means that it ensures that no other action potential can occur during the process of contraction of the cardiac muscle fibers, because the duration of contraction is almost equal to the duration of refractive period. So there can be no second action potential unless the cardiac muscles are already relaxed. Okay, but here in this case, skeletal muscle fibers, you can see that the action potential duration is so small and the refractive period is so small that when the skeletal muscle fibers, they start contracting, the action potential is already over. So that means if you give another stimulus, another action potential, that will result in another twitch, and multiple twitches can occur, and those multiple twitches can summate. So tetanization is possible in the skeletal muscle fibers. So if the skeletal muscle fibers, they can be tetanized, so obviously they can also get fatigued. But since the cardiac muscle fibers can never tetanize, okay, so they never fatigue, and this is a safety mechanism. It's a very protective mechanism in the sense that it allows the cardiac muscle fibers to relax before the next contraction, because the heart has to receive the blood first, and the heart gets filled with the blood only during relaxation. If the heart is not relaxed, it will not get filled with the blood, and if it doesn't get filled with the blood, it will not be able to pump the blood. Okay, so first it has to relax in order to get filled with the blood. So this long refractive period ensures that the cardiac muscle fibers relax and they get filled with the blood before the next action potential can occur. So this is a very safety measure. It's a protective mechanism, to enable the heart to perform its function effectively. Okay, and